Hello, everyone. I'm going to try to do a sermon this morning. I'm in the Proverbs series. I'm on chapter 14, and I've been sniffling a lot. Had sinus allergies real bad, and I apologize that the videos have been that way. I feel a little better this morning, so hopefully this won't occur today in this video. But I'm in chapter 14 in the King James Version. It says, "Every wise woman buildeth her house, but the foolish plucketh it down with her hands. He that walketh in his uprightness feareth the Lord, but he that is perverse in his ways despises him." I heard a little story about a man had this girlfriend, and she wanted him to go to church with her. And he said, "Look, I don't have much to do with God, and he doesn't have much to do with me." They know they're not living right, and they avoid any situation that'll point their lives out. They skirt around that. It says, in the mouth, he that walketh in the uprightness feareth the Lord, but he that is perverse in his own ways despiseth him. In the mouth of foolishness is the rod of pride, but the lips of the wise shall preserve them. Where no oxen are, the crib is clean, but by much strength is by the strength of the ox. You don't have an ox, you don't have nothing to clean up, but then you don't have any substance either. So you have to work for what you get. A scorner, a false witness will not lie, but a faithful witness will not lie, but a false witness will utter lies. A scorner seeketh wisdom and findeth it not, but knowledge is easy unto him that understandeth. If we seek after God, it said a scorner wouldn't seeketh wisdom and findeth it not, but knowledge is easy unto him that understandeth. If we seek God, he'll seek us, and we can find him. I want to come to the Lord with an open heart and an open mind, and go from the presence of a foolish man, and thou shalt perceive not in him the lips of knowledge, when thou perceivest not in him the lips of knowledge. The wisdom of the prudent is to understand his way, but the follies of fools are deceit. Fools make a mock at sin, but among the righteous there is favor. If we think that sin won't hurt us, if we take sin lightly, if we mock it, it will be the end of us. I hope my path is feet are on the paths of righteousness forever. In verse 10 says, "The heart knoweth his own bitterness, and a stranger doth not intermeddle with his joy." When we suffer, God suffers, and when we rejoice, he rejoices with us. And when we have the Lord, we are never alone. That is such a comforting thought to me, that I'm not alone. I don't have to take on the world by myself. If I've got Jesus by my side, the bullies from the enemy cannot hurt me. It says, "The house of the wicked shall be overthrown, but the tabernacle of the upright shall flourish. There is a way that seemeth right unto man, but the end thereof are the ways of death." When we do something that's wrong and disobey God's commandments, we must be prepared to suffer the consequences, because there will be consequences. A lot of people's own worst enemy is their self. And I've heard, people prayer that said, "Lord, save me from myself." That's probably the biggest struggle. When I was in school, I heard something that said, "I could have a good time in this life, but everywhere I go, there I am also." I think it was Pogo or some cartoon character or something that said, "I met the enemy and I knew him, and it was me." We're our own worst enemies. It says, "Even in laughter, the heart is sorrowful, and the end of that mirth is heaviness." People, they seek bars and clubs and whatever for to lighten their heart up, have a good time for a few hours, but it always comes to an abrupt end, and you have to face your desperate unhappiness. Heard a story about a woman. She was from another country, and she called in sick, and the boss said, what seems to be your problem?" And she said, "Oh, I've got a hangover." And she thought that when somebody said they had a hangover, that just meant that they were sick. So she said she had a hangover. Oh Lord, the people that do have a hangover. We look for the happiness in all the wrong places. It's like trying to catch the wind. You can't catch it, but God, and God is our happiness. When we stop looking for artificial happiness and we focus our attention on the one and only real happiness, we find fulfillment in life. Verse 15 says, "The simple believeth every word, but the prudent man looketh well to his going." I've seen these TV preachers, and they capture a lot of people's minds. And I remember years ago there was one, and some investigative reporter, they went to where he was, and he would say that he would pray for you, just send a donation or whatever, and I believe they determined that he was just getting the money out of the envelope and throwing the request in the garbage. The one that you can depend on is God. He won't put you on the back burner. "A wise man feareth and depart from evil, but the fool rageth and is confident. He that is soon angered dealeth foolishly, and a man of wicked devices is hated." Self-control, that's a very important part. Temperance, that's a very important part of the way we live. We learn from the Lord. There's many times he just kept his control. When they was railing on him, when they was questioning who he was. Verse 19 says, "The evil bow before the good, and the wicked at the gates of the righteous." There's a time in our life when we must choose. We have the fork in the road. We must choose a good life or the evil one. And that's the most important decision of your life. Who is not for God is against him. And who we choose and where we wind up is completely up to us. It's just like I think it was George Jones made a song entitled "Choices." And in our life, we make so many choices. Somebody at the waitress at our table wants to know what we want to eat, what we want to drink, what we're going to have for breakfast, what are we going to have for lunch, what are we going to have for dinner, or whatever. There's so many choices, but never has been a more important choice than living for God. in verse 23, sorry, Paul, so long, but in verse 23 it says, in all labor there is profit, but the talk of the lips tendeth unto penury. Some people talk. They're going to do this and they're going to do that, and they're intending this and they're intending that. But talk without action can be the ruin of a person. Actions speak louder than words. Jesus was a man of few words. He said, come, go, follow me. The red part of the Bibles that's printed with Jesus' words in red is not a lot. He didn't say a lot like we do. In the fear of the Lord, this is verse 26 and 27, is strong confidence. In the fear of the Lord is strong confidence, and his children shall have a place of refuge. The fear of the Lord is a fountain of life to depart from the snares of death. Boy, doesn't that sound comforting? It does to me. A sound heart is the life of the flesh, but envy the rottenness of the bones. Envy will get you in trouble. It's like a cancer. It'll eat you alive. It's a form of selfishness, I think. In verse 31 says, he that oppresseth the poor reproacheth his maker, but he that honoreth him hath mercy on the poor. So I have enjoyed getting this to you today. I'm thankful I didn't sniff as much as I have, and I apologize for those times. I love you, and I care about you today. I wanted to come to you. I wanted to give you this 14th proverb, and as we move on through. Proverbs, Solomon says that wisdom is the principal thing. And so I always wanted wisdom for 61 years, so I read Proverbs a pretty good little bit. I hope this helps you. I'm not doing this to replace your minister or replace you getting to church, but in these coronavirus days, there's people that's not able to get to church. There may be somebody in the rehab, in the hospital, nursing home, or wherever, and I want to help you out as much as I can. And so until we do this next time, may God bless you is my prayer.